The US military's secret Afghanistan war logs provide the most revealing picture of the conflict so far. They were shared with The Guardian, The New York Times and Der Spiegel by the whistleblower's website, WikiLeaks.
Come on, fire!
It showed the killing of 12 people, including 2 Reuters journalists, and the shelling of civilians, including children who went to their aid.
As you may know, classified information is now floating around the globe, courtesy of the traitors and this despicable website, which is based in Sweden. The guy who runs the website is a sleazeball named Julian Assange, who is bent on damaging America.
The Sunday Times referred to him as elusive as a modern-day pimpernel and an international man of mystery, according to the Sydney Morning Herald.
You go by the hacker alias Neo and are guilty of virtually every computer crime we have a law for.
We live in a dangerous world. We must have secure plans to protect ourselves. But right now we don't. The whole thing is embarrassing and ultra disturbing.
If our own government was responsible for the deaths of almost 100,000 people, would you really want to know?
We are transparency activists who understand that transparent government tends to produce just government.
There is nobody close to that organization in terms of shining light on what the world's most powerful factions are doing and in subverting the secrecy regime that is used to spawn all sorts of evils.
Bradley Manning, in my opinion, is a hero for releasing information that uncovered all kinds of scandals. And we need people to do that. That is how our society is strengthened.
WikiLeaks is devoted to shedding light on what these injustices are, and it's then our responsibility to go about and do something about them.
There does appear to be evidence of war crimes in this material.
To see unsanitized snapshot reporting day by day, and sometimes indeed hour by hour, gives you the genuine flavor of what has occurred on the ground. And that's really important because that's what the war is actually like.
1-8, clear. Come on. Clear. Clear. Orange.
The presumption is that whatever the government does in our name is secret when the presumption is supposed to be the opposite.
The contents of this document are a matter of national security.
These documents were the electronic equivalent of the brown envelope that journalists have been getting from the 1960s, from the Pentagon Papers case.
Anybody who got these cables would publish it, no matter what their political predilections are, because it's highly newsworthy.
So there's this incredible collaboration that the media is in the middle of, and yet everything seems to be aimed at Assange.
Any discussion of this document or its contents will be regarded at the very least as an act of sedition, if not a willful act of treason.
Is asking people to close their eyes and pretend that the leak never happened really what America is resorting to?
If journalism is good, it is controversial by its nature. It is the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Our forces are still very much in danger here as a result of this exposure.
The great Oz has spoken. Oh. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
He is an enemy of the United States, actively endangering people, and he's going to get a lot of folks killed. And I think that's a despicable act, and we should treat him as an enemy combatant and as an absolute enemy of the United States.
We are doing everything that we can. We have a very serious, active, ongoing investigation.
Gentlemen, I want this terrorist found. And I want him to understand what terror really means.
We should go after them for violating the Espionage Act, and the reason I say foreign terrorist organization, because they were engaged in terrorist activity.
And I think anything less than execution is too kind a penalty.
I want this country to realize that we stand on the edge of oblivion. I want every man, woman, and child to understand how close we are to chaos. I want everyone to remember why they need us.
The only thing at risk here is the reputations and the jobs of those individuals who put troops in harm's way in Iraq.
There's no nexus that has been shown that this information has resulted in somebody getting killed.
And WikiLeaks is really one of the very few, if not the only group, effectively putting fear into the hearts of the world's most powerful and corrupt people. And that's why they deserve, I think, enthusiastic support from anyone who truly believes in transparency.
Should have a van in the middle of the road with about 12 to 15 bodies.
Where is the Tea Party that talks about saving us from our government? They're remarkably silent here. I have some very conservative...
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that.
I have some very conservative students who are bringing that up.
I'm curious as to the opinion in the TED audience. And who's got the hero view? Who's got the dangerous troublemaker view?
Oh, come on. It must be so.
Be careful, and all power to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it is our duty as loyal Americans to shut up. We expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up.
As long as the internet exists, as long as democracy exists, this kind of thing is going to happen constantly.
The way to deal with this is pretty simple. We got special ops forces. I mean, a dead man can't leak stuff. This guy's a traitor, a treasonist, and he has broken every law of the United States. The guy ought to be... And I'm not for the death penalty, so if I'm not for the death penalty, the only one to do it, illegally shoot the son of a...
What's really going on here is a war over control of the internet and whether or not the internet can actually serve what a lot of people hoped its ultimate purpose was, which was to allow citizens to band together and democratize the checks on the world's most powerful factions. That's what this really is about. It's why you see Western governments totally lawlessly waging what can only be described as a war on WikiLeaks and Julian Assange outside the bounds of any constraints, because that's what really is at stake here.
WikiLeaks will continue no matter what. And it's important to understand as well that WikiLeaks represents an idea.
Die! Die! Why won't you die? Why won't you die?
Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof. We've been fighting a long time, and we have all lost so very much, so many loved ones gone. But you are not alone. There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. We are at the brink. You have no idea how important you are. This is John Connor.